Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare
No, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita reading. We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 17, Lord Chaitanya's pastimes in his youth. And we were reading yesterday. What did we read yesterday? That Mahaprabhu wanted to drink honey, and Nityananda Prabhu brought a pot of Ganga water. And after drinking that pot of Ganga water, Mahaprabhu appeared to be intoxicated and he started dancing. And all the devotees saw Lord Balaram's attracting Yamuna Devi, that pastime. So Advaita Acharya actually saw, when he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he actually saw Lord Balaram in the place of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Vanamali Acharya, he saw that Lord Balaram had a golden plough in his hand. And all the other devotees, they saw this pastime of Balaramji dragging Yamuna or attracting Yamuna. And they all went into ecstasy. That's what we read. In this way, they danced continuously for 12 hours on that day. And in the evening, they all went to their homes. After that, we also read that the Lord ordered all the citizens of Navadvip to chant Hare Krishna and also Hari Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Gopal Govindaram Shri Madhusudan. So in that context, we saw Srila Prabhupada instructed that in Mayapur, the devotees should continuously for 24 hours chant the Panchatattva mantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and Hari Haraye Namaha Yadavaya Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Gopal Govindaram Shri Madhusudan. This was very dear to Mahaprabhu. He personally instructed that all devotees should chant Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. So that was Srila Prabhupada's instruction to the devotees in Mayapur. So then, when the Sankirtan movement thus started, all you could hear all day was Hari Hari and the sound of Mridanga and Kartals everywhere in Navadvip. Now we'll continue. What happened after that? Shuniya ye kruddha hoilo sakala yavana kaji pashe asi sabe koilo nivedana. Yes. Translation, Achintadev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please
All
accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Translation. Hearing the resounding vibration of the Hare Krishna mantra, the local Muslims, greatly angry, submitted a complaint to the Qazi. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Mataji or Arunita.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
The Faujadara or city magistrate was called the Kaji. The Zamindars or landholders, Mandaleras, levied taxes on the land, but keeping law and order and punishing criminals was the duty entrusted to the Kazi. Both the Kazi and the landholders were under the control of the governor of Bengal, which at that time was known as Subabangala. The districts of Nadia, Islampura, and Bagoana were all under the zamindar named Hari Huda or his descendant known as Huda Krishnadasa. It is said that Chand Kazi was the spiritual master of Nawab Hussain Shah. According to one opinion, his name was Maulana Sirajuddina, and according to another, his name was Habibara Rahmana. Descendants of Chand Kazi are still living in the vicinity of Mayapur. People still go to see the tomb of Chand Kazi, which is underneath a champaka tree and is known as Chand Kazi's Samadhi.
Did you see that Samadhi, Mataji?
No, Mataji, we didn't get time. We were supposed to see, but we didn't have time.
But it comes on the way. When you travel on the way to temple, near the market, there's a market right after the temple. Of course, after our temple, then there is Yog Peeth, and after that, when you go, there's a marketplace right there in the heart of that marketplace. It's called Baman Pukur. On the street itself, on the main road itself, on the side, there is Chand Kazi Samadhi. So even though you may not have seen it, but you have been there.
Yes, because it was getting dark. It already became dark, so we skipped it. So it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So now everywhere they are hearing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So the Muslims got greatly angry and they complained to Qazi. So now Srila Prabhupada is explaining what is the role of the Qazi in the government. The city magistrate is called Qazi. The landholder is the Zamindar or Mandalera. So the landholder levied taxes on the land, but if some people didn't pay the taxes or if there was any other crime, then punishment was given by Qazi. Qazi is like the judge, he's the magistrate. So something like police and the judge, right? So the landholders, they would go to collect taxes. Actually, even in the Vedic society, Kshatriya, we say Kshatriya as a king. Actually, Kshatriya means a landholder. One who holds land is called a Kshatriya. That's why in villages, you say Thakurji, right? Or Zamindar. They are called kings because they hold lot of land. So the landholders are Kshatriyas, right? So here also we see the Zamindars would go to levy taxes. But keeping law and order and punishing criminals was the duty entrusted to the Qazi. So they are both working together. They are both in the administrative field only. Both the Qazi and the landlords were under the control of the governor of Bengal. So above the magistrate and above the zamindars is the governor. At that time, it was Subabangala. And under this governor were the districts of Nadia, Islampur, Bagoyana. So Harihoda was the zamindar, and I'm not the zamindar, the governor. Sorry, the zamindar is Harihoda. So the governor is Subha Bangala. Then the zamindar is Harihoda, and Chand Kazi is the magistrate. So Harihoda's descendant is Hoda Krishnadas. Okay. So Chand Kazi was the magistrate, but he was also Maulana. Maulana means he's like a priest in the Muslim, religion. That's his post. So Chand Kazi was the spiritual master of Nawab Hussain Shah. So Nawab Hussain Shah is the king. He's the king, even above the governor. And this Chand Kazi was a magistrate, but he was also the spiritual master of Nawab Hussain Shah. According to one opinion, his name was Maulana Sirajuddin, and according to another, his name was Habibara Rahman. Descendants of Chand Kazi are still living. Yeah. So then, we'll read that. Of course, later on it will come again, this pastime, the conversation between the dialogue between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Chand Kazi. And there also again it is said how Chand Kazi actually proclaimed to all his descendants, all future descendants, that nobody should ever disturb the Sankirtan movement. So his descendants are still living there in that area where his samadhi is there. They're still living, and they don't ever disturb the Sankirtan movement in honor of Chand Kazi.
But Hare Krishna Mataji, but that samadhi was not well maintained. It was very poor, in very poor condition. I was so upset. When I saw it, I thought, oh my God, Chand Kazi's samadhi. I saw it before. Last time when I saw it, it was much better. But this time it was like no one goes there.
Yeah, no one goes there. Yeah.
No income. They don't have any income, so they don't maintain it.
Yeah. We just go there once a year when there is parikrama, and that is, we go there. Like on the way, like going to Simantadweep, Rajapur, that area, and all the places behind. So we just pass by Chand Kazi's also.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Text 125. Krodhe Sandhya Kale Kaji. I'm not sure if it is actually under ISKCON and if it is being maintained by ISKCON. Maybe not, because I don't see any, usually when there is a place which is maintained by ISKCON devotees, they have some type of worship going on like that. I don't see anything.
No. ISKCON doesn't maintain it.
So it doesn't belong.
It would have been better.
Yes.
They don't neglect that like that.
Right.
It's just dusty. Nothing is clean and unclean. Very weird. And also, I went to the when I went to Bombay, Juhu, and my brothers were with me. They wanted to go Haji Ali. So Haji Ali is so famous, right? So I went there and I was so upset. It's stinky, it's dirty. I couldn't even think that it's so such a it's a place where people go and they do manat and all those things, but that place is such a dirty, weird place. I was really surprised, and people are going like you cannot even walk, like a wave, and that place is like that. They don't ask for any donation.
What is Haji Ali, Mataji?
Haji Ali is in Bombay. There is a place. It's on the sea. Just in the corner, but just a little bit inside the sea, but it's connected to the land with the stones and all those things. And there it was. We went, and my brother.
Is it like historical? It has some historical significance.
It's Muslims. Yeah, it has. The film stars go there to pray pray for something,
In the
or
film, in the
they,
movies, they show that
Huh?
whatever you ask, it's fulfilled.
What is that?
In the movies, they show whatever you
Haji Ali.
ask, that gets fulfilled. It's like mannat, mannat mangte hain.
मन्नत के लिए, हाँ.
So like some historical like Muslim saint was there, or is it his tomb or
Haji Ali is a
something?
Muslim saint, yes. Like
Haji Ali,
like
yeah.
Gurdwara, we have Golden Temple. Like on Muslims, that is famous like that.
A tomb of Haji Ali, maybe. I don't know. I'm just asking.
Maybe. I saw there is construction going on inside, and they covered, but the entire area was horrible.
Mm.
So dirty, stinky, and it was like you cannot even walk through that place.
Yeah.
I felt like I have to go and take shower immediately.
Nambali Mataji, did you ask for Mannat to be pure devotee of Krishna?
I didn't speak a word. I went there and I saw, and my sister-in-law felt like I felt that I didn't like that place. So she said, you cannot hate any place. I said, I didn't hate it.
For
But
us,
it
wherever,
was
even
dirty place, you will not be happy to see a dirty place, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
dirty and stinky.
for us, if we go to Christian place, there also we will ask for Krishna consciousness. Even in Muslim place, we'll ask for Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, because it is all Krishna's property anyway.
Yeah, it's all Krishna's property, and maintaining nicely is also a thing. Whatever you have to maintain it nicely, right? You
Yes.
cannot leave it just unmaintained, dirty, stinky.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yes, Mataji.
I was so upset. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Okay, next verse. क्रोधे संध्या काले काजी एक घरे आइला मृदंग भांगिया लोके कहिते लागिला. So that is why I was asking, we read about that Nagar Sankirtan that Mahaprabhu did, and he went to Chand Kaji. So I think what happened was, we were reading about Sridhar. So in order to read about Sridhar, we briefly, just talked about that Nagar Sankirtan. But now the same pastime we are seeing from another angle, from the angle of Mahaprabhu's dialogue with Chand Kaji, I think. Let us continue. Because we saw it briefly before, the Nagar Sankirtan of Mahaprabhu. क्रोधे संध्या काले काजी एक घरे आइला मृदंग भांगिया लोके कहिते लागिला. Translation.
Chand Kazi angrily Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Chand Kazi angrily came to one home in the evening, and when he saw the kirtan going on, he broke a mridanga and spoke as follows.
So what exactly happened here? I'm just trying to connect the dots. Mahaprabhu told all the devotees, let's look at the translations to see the connection. Mahaprabhu told all the devotees, not just devotees, he ordered all the residents of Navadvip to chant Hare Krishna. When did he do that? That's what I'm trying to understand. Because after we read about Sridhar, then we read about that pastime.
After the Chamkazi's people were actually breaking everything and destroying and stopped them from doing kirtan and beating up people. Then
that is going to happen now.
no, that happened. No, that's why.
No, we are going to read that now again, because Chandkaji is broke a mridanga. After that, it's going to happen. That's why I was seeing the previous one. Let's go back and check.
No, but he did not have dialogue at that time.
No, he did. No, but it's the same pastime.
Same pastime, but he didn't have dialogue. No.
Yeah, the dialogue didn't happen.
He didn't
So,
meet at that time.
So, 1 second. This is Murari Gupta. So Sridhar comes before that. Yeah, Sridhar, 70. Once Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the house of Sridhar after Kirtan. That's all. So we didn't talk anything about what exactly, why that Kirtan happened. And drank water from the damage. Let me see if we read about Chandkaji. Or was it just me explaining to you
No,
that
this
pastime?
happened after Sridhar's house. He went after the kirtan.
Right.
The mango pastime happened.
Yeah, after mango
Yeah,
pastime.
after the mango. That was named after.
Oh, so we didn't talk about Chandkaji then.
No, we didn't.
Then why we talked about that Nagar Sankirtan? That was in Chaitanya Bhagavat.
Oh
Yes, Chaitanya Bhagavat.
Ah, that's what happened. Yeah, I was thinking we talked about Chandkaji. Okay. Yeah, we didn't. So actually, Mahaprabhu went to Sridhar's house after that only, Chandkaji's Kirtan only. But anyway, and then he rested there in Sridhar's house, and there he drank water from his pot. So here it is said after Kirtan, but that was the Kirtan. Okay. I remember telling you that Mahaprabhu went to Chandkaji's house and they broke everything and then they left from there. I think in the purport Srila Prabhupada explains. Let me see. 70, right?
In the beginning of the chapter, I think the gist. I'm not sure.
After the mass Nagar Sankirtan, in the purport Srila Prabhupada explained. So the translation only, the shloka only said that Mahaprabhu went to Sridhar's house and drank. But in the purport, Prabhupada explained that after this Nagar Sankirtan against Chandkaji, the Lord, converted him to a devotee. Then he went to Sridhar's house and he drank water. So all this is explained in the purport. So in the verse, it is simply said that after Kirtan, the Lord went to Sridhar's house and drank water. That's all. But now the same thing is being explained. That Kirtan itself is going to be explained. What led to that Nagar Sankirtan is going to be explained now. That's what we are going to read. Okay. But when this came, we discussed in detail that pastime and all that. So that's why it's fresh in our memory. Okay. So then how did we come to this point? The Lord told all the devotees to chant. Because, offenders, right? Those who were offenders, who were not allowed inside Mahaprabhu's kirtans, in the evening kirtan in Srivas's house, they got offended. But there were also pious people who were feeling very unfortunate that we are not able to also take part in the Lord's kirtan. So then they would meet the Lord outside and he would offer obeisances when he would go to Ganga. So then the Lord instructed them, all of you please chant. And then they started doing kirtan. So that's where we will start. Okay. So I remember the episode, but I'm trying to connect it here in this sequence, how it comes, because all this will come again later, the actual dialogue and everything. Okay. Yeah, it just says that the Lord ordered the citizens, but actually he ordered the citizens after that. Okay, so let's just continue. So the Lord ordered everyone started performing kirtan. Chand Kazi, so the Muslims, they got angry and they went and complained to not only the Muslims, actually, even the Brahmins. Actually, it was the Brahmins who went and complained to Chandkaji. Why? Because Mahaprabhu is telling everyone to chant Hare Krishna. All types of people just chant Hare Krishna. And the Brahmins, Smartha Brahmins, they were losing their position. They would say, no, you are untouchable. You cannot come to the temple. We are the chosen people, like that. And Mahaprabhu would encourage everyone for chanting Hare Krishna. There are no hard and fast rules. Everyone should chant. And everyone was performing kirtan. So the Brahmins went and complained. This Nimai, he's going against the Vedic system. He's spoiling the Hindu religion, this and that, like that. So they went and complained. The Muslims also, they went and said that wherever we go, we simply hear Hari Hari, Hare Krishna. They are completely fearless. On the strength of Nimai, they are just chanting freely. They are not afraid of us like that. Okay, so let's read now. 125. Chand Kazi angrily came to one home. So when the Muslims went and complained to him that wherever we go, we are hearing this kirtan, he came angrily to one home in the evening. And when he saw kirtan going on, he broke a mridanga and spoke as follows. Actually, this was in Srivas Thakur's home. He went and broke the mridanga there when the devotees were performing kirtan. The Lord was not present at the time. Eta kala ke ho nahi koila hindu yani ebe ye udyama chalao kara bala jani.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranamal, Gurishta Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Translation. For so long you did not follow the regulative principles of the Hindu religion, but now you are following them with great enthusiasm. May I know by whose strength you are doing so?
Yeah. So he didn't want them to follow the Hindu religion. Period. Right? This is a dictator and, like religious persecution. They could not follow the regulative principles of Hindu religion out of fear of the Muslim ruler. So he's saying, for so long you did not follow the regulative principles of the Hindu religion, but now you are following them with great enthusiasm. May I know by whose strength you are doing so? Like Hiranyakashipu, right? Asking Prahlad Maharaj, on whose strength are you preaching like this? Purport, Isha.
It appears that from the aggression of
Bhaktiar
Bhaktiar
Khilji
Khilji in Bengal until the time of Chand Kazi, Hindus, or the followers of the Vedic principles, were greatly suppressed. Like the Hindus in present-day Pakistan, practically no one could execute the Hindu religious principles freely. Chand Kazi referred to this condition of Hindu society. Formerly, the Hindus had not been straightforward in executing their Hindu principles, but now they were freely chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Therefore, it must have been by the strength of someone else that they were so daring.
Yeah, all of a sudden, from where you got this courage? Right? They were oppressed by the Muslim rulers before, and they could not freely, like in the communist countries, you're not allowed to practice your religion freely, like that. So the Hindus, they were not free, so they could not practice their religious principles freely up until then. But now all of a sudden everyone is doing kirtans and playing instruments. On whose strength? Someone else is there who behind these people's fearlessness. Next, Krishna Shish.
Actually, that was the fact. Although the members of the so-called Hindu society had followed the social customs and formulas, they had practically forgotten to execute their religious principles strictly. But with the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they actually began following the regulative principles according to his order. That order is still existing, and anywhere and everywhere, in all parts of the world, one can execute it. That order is to become a spiritual master under the direction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by following the regulative principles, chanting daily at least 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and preaching the cult of Krishna consciousness all over the world. If we adhere to the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we shall get spiritual strength without doubt, and we shall be free to preach this cult of the Hare Krishna movement and not be hampered by anyone.
Yes. So on one hand, we hear that there's oppression from the Muslim rulers at that time. But still, Mahaprabhu ordered everyone to freely chant Hare Krishna. Right? The Hindus at that time, they were just following the social customs and formulas. Like the present day Hindus, We call ourselves Hindus, but we have no idea, who is God, isn't it? People are confused about when you ask them who is God, they'll tell so many different names. They're not clear. They don't know Bhagavad Gita, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when someone from some other faith comes and challenges, then they become bewildered, confused. Oh, you're right. We have so many gods. We don't know what is right. What your religion is good because there's only one God. We'll follow. We'll get converted. So the Hindus' position is they don't have a proper. They have not been following their own dharma properly. They didn't understand their dharma properly over a period of time. Generations being oppressed, they were not able to follow, and in due course of time you even forget what is the essence of that dharma. Simply doing some external rituals, we call ourselves Hindu. So Srila Prabhupada is saying Mahaprabhu gave the order. Now everyone, you must follow. What is his order? আমার আজ্ঞা আমার আজ্ঞা হইয়া তারো এই দেশ যারে দেখো তারে কহো Krishna Upadesh. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is emphasizing on Krishna Upadesh. What is Krishna Upadesh? Bhagavad Gita. First you understand Bhagavad Gita yourself, you follow it in your life, and then wherever you go, whichever country you go, you tell others about Bhagavad Gita. This is Mahaprabhu's order. And also previously we saw, he said, you chant Hare Krishna, you chant Panchatattva mantra, you chant Hari Haraya Nama Krishna. Just get together in a family, 3 members, 4 members, 5, 6 members. You don't have any instruments, it's fine. Clap your hands and chant Hare Krishna, perform Sankirtan in your homes. This was Mahaprabhu's instruction. And when there is an order from the Lord, with the order comes empowerment. With the order comes empowerment. Therefore, when the Lord ordered and one accepts that order, then he becomes empowered. So fearlessly they were chanting Hare Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada is reassuring all of us that if we adhere to the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we will also get spiritual strength without a doubt. And then for us, the order is coming from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and it is repeated by the Acharyas in the disciplic succession. And Srila Prabhupada has given it to us. He said, chant at least 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and preach this Krishna consciousness all over the world. And when we do this on the order of Mahaprabhu, on the order of his representative, we'll become free to preach this cult of the Hare Krishna movement without being hampered by anyone. The power is in the order itself. That's the point. The empowerment comes in the order. Now you just have to accept the order. As soon as you accept the order, you are empowered. So now Chand Kazi is questioning, right? He's saying, from where did you get this power, right? To practice your dharma. Keho kirtana na kori ho sakala nagare, aji ami kshama kori, yaite cho ghare. Madhava.
No one should perform Sankirtan on the streets of the city. Today I am excusing the offense and returning home.
Yes. Nobody can perform Sankirtan. This is Kazi saying. He came, he broke the mridangas, and he said, I don't want to see anyone performing Sankirtan on the streets. Today I'm not killing you, right? He even says, we read in Chaitanya Bhagavat, next time if I see you, if I hear any Kirtan going on, I will confiscate all your wealth, all your property. You will be beaten up. And even your religion will be taken away. If they spit water on a Hindu, or water that they drink, that water if they sprinkle on a Hindu, then that Hindu is converted into a Muslim. In this way they were turning, and the Hindus also were accepting, oh now we became Muslim because a Yavana's water fell on us, so now we are converted. We have lost our Hinduism, like that. So many people were converted like this. So he said, next time I hear anyone chanting, I'm going to take away your religion, and I'm going to take away all your wealth. I'm going to take away plunder, or take away all your wealth, property. So again, once again, they'll be fearful now. Purport. So today I'm excusing you. Today I'm not being very strict. Just he broke the mridanga, but I'm not attacking you people today. But next time I hear, you'll be punished. Purport, Rasapriya.
Such orders stopping Sankirtan in the streets of the world's great cities have been imposed upon members of the Hare Krishna movement. We have hundreds of centers all over the world, and we have been specifically persecuted in Australia. In most cities of the Western world, we have been arrested, many times by the police, but we are nevertheless executing the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by chanting on the streets of all the important cities, such as New York, London, Chicago, Sydney,
Melbourne,
Paris, and Hamburg.
Hamburg.
We must remember that such incidents took place in the past 500 years ago, and the fact that they are still going on indicates that our Sankirtan movement is really authorized. For if Sankirtan were an insignificant material affair, demons would not object to it. The demons of the time tried to obstruct the Sankirtan movement started by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Similar demons are trying to obstruct the Sankirtan movement we are executing all over the world, and this proves that our Sankirtan movement is still pure and genuine, following in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Srila Prabhupada is taking it in the positive sense. So many devotees were persecuted all over the world, arrested, and brainwashed. So many. And Srila Prabhupada said, this is a proof that our movement is authorized, because this happened even at the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Devotees were persecuted for chanting. But by the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this movement cannot be stopped. It cannot be stopped. It will go on. Okay. Next. Oops. আর যদি কীর্তন করিতে লাগা পাইমু সর্বস্ব দণ্ডিয়া তারা জাতি ইয়ে লইমু. I think Nilambari Mataji is next. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
The next time I see someone performing such Sankirtan, I shall certainly chastise him by not only confiscating all his property, but also converting him into a Muslim.
You can read the purport also, Mataji, if you like.
Yeah, sure. To convert a Hindu into a Muslim was an easy affair in those days. If a Muslim simply sprinkled water on the body of a Hindu, it was supposed that the Hindu had already become a Muslim. During the transition of the British in Bangladesh, during the last Hindu-Muslim riots, many Hindus were converted into Muslims by having cows' flesh forcibly pushed into their mouth. Hindu society was so rigid at that time of Lord Chaitanya that if a Hindu were converted into Muslim, there was no chance of his being reformed. In this way, the Muslim population in India increased. None of Muslims came from outside. None of the Muslims came from outside. Social customs somehow or other forced Hindus to become Muslims. with no chance of returning to the Hindu society. Emperor Aurangzeb also inaugurated a tax that Hindus had to pay because of their being Hindus. Thus, all the poor Hindus of the lower class voluntarily became Muslims to avoid the tax. In this way, the Muslim population in India increased. Chand Kazi threatened to convert the people into Muslims by the simple process of sprinkling water on their bodies.
Yeah, it's
Horrible.
in Hare Krishna Mataji. It's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting that this morning also we got the same topic from Srimad Bhagavatam we were reading, and now also the same about converting. So the question was, who is at fault for this conversion? Is it entirely the fault of the people, people's karma or their desire, or their, is it the people's fault for converting into another religion? You can see it very clearly. It is done and in a very, it's forced actually. It's forced, or it is done in a very planned way, right? And out of helplessness, one, like in this case, Srila Prabhupada is saying Aurangzeb taxed the Hindus. Just because they were Hindus, he taxed them heavily. And the poor people, poor Hindus, not having the money to pay that tax, they just changed to Muslim. And once they changed to Islam, there's no way of coming back to Hinduism, because the Hindus were so rigid they would not accept them back. That is another thing. And then also forcibly pushing, can you imagine, cow flesh into the mouth, and now the Hindus will reject them, so now they have turned into Muslims. In this way, many people have taken to Islam. And Srila Prabhupada is even saying all the Muslims that are there in India, they didn't come from outside. They were all Indians only. They were all Hindus who were forcibly converted into Islam. And now there's so much preaching about Christianity, right? Villages and villages are being converted. Even today, it's happening.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I was listening in the morning also, and I was about to tell those villages, they are very poor, and they got help, they got money. I heard that about Muslim with Muslim also, the mazar, the masjid, they get money from the Middle East, the big sheikhs, and they go to the village and they tell them that we will give you this much money for your living, and you have to just come to the mosque, and you have to sit and pray namaz.
Yeah.
The same thing happened in the Christianity also.
Yeah.
They found that these villages very poor, they don't have help, so they help them, and the Christianity is a much clearer, much nicer religion. So
Yeah.
people turn to Christian because we are preaching, the ISKCON is preaching all over the world, but we don't help people by paying cash.
Mm.
We feed them.
Yeah.
ISKCON feed them khichdi, something, but they don't pay for their living.
Yeah.
Because that's the reason they find the poor village, because India government doesn't take the responsibility to make them or make all the village just to survive. So they do that. That's why. That's the main reason.
It's unfortunate, and it's both
Unfortunately.
ways. It's both ways actually, because I mean, those who are taking advantage of the poverty of the people are not just taking advantage, they're actually using, they're actually making that a tool, right? To convert people into another religion. But yeah, my question is, are they actually benefiting them spiritually by this conversion? They are just, it's just a material game, right? You want more, it's like getting more votes so that you'll be number one.
More
Right?
number, right?
Yeah, more number. And even it's like, at the time of elections, the leaders, they promise so many things and they even give gifts and this and that. Once they win, who cares? But these people are also foolish who think that somebody who's giving me some food, some clothes, now, I'll take to that religion, he will take care of me, he will protect me. He's thinking like that because he's also less intelligent. But of course, you can also say his circumstances are such. So ultimately, the leaders, they should give protection to the innocent and the ignorant also, and guide them properly. So really, the responsibility is on the leadership. The Brahmanas, first of all, for guiding the society properly, and the Kshatriyas, the ruler. First of all, we should have a ruler, one ruler who has that power to lead. So, yeah, because in such a government where, there's no one person in power, then all types of, we see in the case of Vena Maharaj, right? He was tyrannical. But when Vena Maharaj also, when he was killed, there was killed means the Brahmanas ended his life. There was some period after that, and all types of plunderers, rogues, thugs, they were flourishing because there is no ruler. That's what is happening. So, of course, I sent you that video today, a short video clip. The leaders are working in giving protection, but the other side is very powerful, right? They have their roots here. So, but they are still working. So we should also be, we should also increase our intensity of spreading the message of Bhagavad Gita, giving people the right understanding of what is the purpose of religion. The purpose of religion is not to get some food and some, money. That's not the purpose of religion, like that. But of course, when someone is in poverty, then they'll just, unless you are very strong in bhakti, it's natural to fall for that. So therefore, the responsibility is on the leaders. Achintade Prabhu.
Mataji, in ISKCON, there is this Maharaj, Purushottam Maharaj, who came a few months back. He's leading the tribal care division of
Yes.
ISKCON. And I
Yes.
think they are going to the tribal areas and running schools, giving food, teaching them,
Yes. Yes.
and
Thank
making
you.
them.
So Prabhuji is making the point that it's not that in ISKCON we are not doing anything, we are not taking care of the villages and the backward people. So there are some projects being done in India where they go to the tribal the tribal regions,
Purushottam
especially.
Maharaj is doing it for quite some time.
Yes,
It's only in
northeast.
the tribal
Yes,
areas.
yes, yes.
Is
But
doing
yeah,
good job and schools and everything. Yes.
and also the Christians, they're a much bigger organization. They have more
Mhm.
funds. It's
Yeah.
and they've been doing it for.
And you see, Mataji, ISKCON is a little part of India, right?
Yeah,
It doesn't have any help from the government, right?
government, correct.
So how come they will go and help a village? Government
Right,
has to
correct.
back up. If ISKCON wants to do that, then government has to back up. There is no backup from government.
Therefore, we should have an ISKCON devotee in the government as a ruler. Yes, really.
Yes, yes.
Now,
That is very.
Mataji, the president of India currently, she is
The tribal background.
yes, tribal, and plus she does not eat onion garlic.
Oh wow, very nice.
Yeah, I was seeing that
Who
video.
is the president?
Draupadi.
Oh, okay.
What's the last name? You know?
I'll have to check. So I was seeing the other day, and it's shameful that we don't know the name.
Yeah, I saw her when she was actually taking oath as the
Murmu.
Murmu.
Yeah, Murmur. Yeah.
Draupadi Murmu. Yes, yes, yes. She has a
And-
very, her background, how she actually struggled from, from such a background, and she actually became the president.
I
Yeah.
try and send that link. She has a special kitchen in Rashtrapati Bhavan where no onion garlic food is prepared for her.
Wow. Even Prime Minister Modi also, I heard he eats very simple. He eats like loki. He likes to eat loki, and he just eats khichdi or plain rotis like that. Very simple diet, I heard.
In fact, when he came to US last time, he was on 9 days fast. He did not even eat.
Wow. See, so all this will certainly,
Showing light.
yeah, yeah.
but
Yes.
Mataji, nowadays, because India is a so-called secular, that's the problem. Now they can't say, okay, Hindu, they can't emphasize for political reasons on Hindu and, like as Niramari Mataji was saying, government should also do something for Hindus and all. They cannot do it as a Hindu thing. They have to just do it for everyone.
From the government side, they cannot do
From
it.
the
No,
government.
but they don't they give any. I think they help the
Not for
backward
Hindu,
classes, no?
for everyone, not for Hindu. So then that religious thing will not be emphasized that you
No,
become.
no. The point is about conversion. People coming and showing money and giving money and converting on a mass scale. This should not be allowed. This is not correct.
This is a they will say this is a choice. They're doing it, of course, for some reason or the other, but this is their
No,
personal.
the government can intervene here. They cannot come and
But they cannot stop from whatever religion I select, right? To be. So what you are saying is, if I don't want to convert because of my poverty, I will not be tempted. The temptation will be reduced.
No, but someone from outside coming and tempting and alluring people
Yeah.
in order to convert them, and not one or two people, like I showed you right today, 120,000 plus people in 1 week converted. So this is outrageous. So if their motive is simply social service, then they can just come and help. Why you are telling them to convert?
They probably were working for a long time, and then they finally they converted. Yes, actually,
But
I got a video. I got a video in West Bengal. The Muslims are infesting. It's just you cannot even imagine. If you see the video, I'll send you. If you understand Bengali a little bit, then you will understand and you will feel threatened that how Muslims are infesting in Bengal. It's so dangerous
Wow.
all over.
The Chief
And the
Minister
government
of Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, gives bhata to the